what was the actual turning point when you were like, hey, I'm going to open my own business?
Well, it's interesting because I didn't do it right when I turned 30. I did it in the 30th year, right? And it was really that pivotal point. And at that time, this is interesting too, is that I met my wife, the love of my life, who I've been married to for 17
Dude,
years.
you're racking up the points today. Congratulations.
I've had some really good coaching.
You're keeping track of that, right? Feel that love bang, brother.
But what was interesting was she too was like, man, this is a little bit kind of crazy. But we had a similar background. So I married my high school sweetheart. She married her high school sweetheart. Mm-hmm. Yes, I did have a kid, right? She did not. But after 2 years, both of them wanted out. So they both wanted divorces. So we had that level of, commonality. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing about it is that we got to that point and I took that leap. And I remember the day I went into the guy that I work for, and he was like, he was shocked, and mm-hmm. I tried to explain it. I mean, literally it was like, hey, I got to go. Like, I can't even finish this conversation with you and I got to go. And I'm like, well, I'll just be here when you get back. I know it's a lot to process. And he came back and he's like, well, just leave now. And I said, well, I've got some deals I want to clean up for you in 2 weeks. And I said, as a matter of fact, we can continue to work together because I'll represent your company too. I'll broker for you. And that was helpful. And then what ended up happening is that my wife came into the business too. And we were now she was doing all the internal calls and I would go out and see people. And now both of us were committed. So it wasn't like oh man, sometimes people will have one of the spouses, they're working a job, right? And they're bringing in the steady income. This was like, man,
we're both jumping in with both feet, right?
Yes. And you got the mortgage and you got the kid to support still, right? And all of that. It was and now you're newly married. So, but that was a push.
Stressors, right? I think if you go back to the stress index,
yes,
I think you guys hit all of them in a year, right? Yeah. Let's get married, start a business.
Yeah.
Move in together.
Yep. Just do it all.
Just flip it all. Yeah.
Just do it all. Why not? And so would I say that is the formula? I don't know. That was just the way, but it was like, man, you did this, right? We're here and we're not going to look back. It was like one of those moments. I mean, I don't know if you call it the burn the ships down. Cortez did, right? Hey, we're not going back kind of a thing. But I mean, it's not like we couldn't go back in the workforce. But it was really like, we're all in, right? We're going, and it took a while, and there was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of roadblocks, because this is what I know you understand as an entrepreneur, but we don't always have it all figured out. I mean, sometimes the way that we think it's going to go doesn't necessarily go.
I think for sure. I think, well, as we were talking about a little bit before, like athletes talk about mental performance. And one of my favorite things that I read when I was doing this stuff was, one of the keys of success in athletics is, mental imagery. Everybody teaches that. But this guy was specific to go, when you do mental imagery, expect the adversity, right? It's not going to be perfect.
Right.
So what are you going to do when you hit it? But for some reason in business, we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, you're going to hit adversity. There is no clear path.
Right. And it's going to come from places that you probably don't even really expect sometimes, right? I mean, that is
and so can growth,
game.
Right? I was reading this morning, I can't remember who was saying it, but it was a quote that your plan is your strategy, but your growth is going to come from the unplanned.
Right.
The things you didn't see until you get out there. It's like, oh, wow, yeah, I could shift over here, and here's a whole line of business I didn't initially have in my plan.
Right.
And can you pivot to that, or do you say, no?
Yep.
This is I'm following my plan to the letter. So I think it's that resilience and that flexibility of and that curiosity of keeping your eyes open of what else is out there.